Meeting.
I doubt it.
We go live.
They don't like, which is kind of not liking me.
For me.
Flabbergasted me going into semi-public or not letting
I
that.
don't even know.
Tom, you mean you ready?
I don't wanna.
Chief?
I
think we should.
Steve, you ready?
Bugs are gonna also call.
Only just operation.
Call me to order with roll call.
I'd be
Frederick.
Here.
Schulte.
Here.
Cardano.
Here.
Kane. Here. Friends.
Here.
Pearson.
here.
Knudsen.
Here.
Stevenson.
Here.
Here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The council will receive information on non-agenda topics brought before the council by members of the public. The council will not discuss these topics and will not take action on any of this meeting. Is there anyone who's not on the agenda who should be heard? Matt, we know who you are, but we gotta get your name and address.
Matt and then Reedsburg, Court. It's kind of on the agenda, it's kind of not. I think it's agenda item number 2, but, a couple things with this development is, we had learned that the school district had plans to, build a maintenance building, which will take out, depending which spot it's gonna be in, we'll take out anywhere between 3 to 6 of our soccer fields. Which will leave us obviously no place for those fields. We're already kind of short room as for soccer. We have 2 fields that technically are probably not even safe, they're not even safe to play on. We don't have the space to shut down fields, clear fields. It's my understanding that this land was originally purchased for the intent of expanding Nishan. A couple things, other questions I have is, does the city plan on, Dave, I think, run the committee for 4th of July. Do you plan on moving your fireworks display?
No.
Because that's gonna have to move because of the safety radius.
No, we already talked about that. We're good.
And then, light pollution, development gonna because you can see the lights from Nishan, shine all the way through that field. The sound volumes from tournaments like this weekend, I was at the soccer fields, I could hear the tournament all the way over there. Like, yes, all the other residents can, but, this is tailored towards, was it 60 plus, I believe. The soccer club used to, be on city property. 20 plus years ago, I played there, along with Matt Carey, who's Don Carey's son. He played throughout high school and stuff, and into college, I believe. And then baseball needed to expand and we got kicked out of city property and haven't had a home back there. You see a lot of communities, like Reedsburg, Sauk Prairie, the forest, a lot of the places where we play, they're all building, these big complexes that have all used sports all in one area. And I think it's not wise to sell this land. Yes, it's great for tax revenue, but in terms of being a centralized sports complex, and the possibilities that can fill that space, including youth football, soccer, and there's other things obviously as well, a sledding hill, and stuff like that as well. And I think also, that it was kind of bought for the purpose of being a park. I don't think this is the right use for it. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else who's on the agenda should be heard? We will move to consent agenda. One motion approves all consent items. Oh, I'm sorry. Yep. We need to strike from general business before we get going on number 3. That'll come in a future meeting. Consent agenda, one motion approves all consent items. Item 1, and that's approved minutes for the meeting held on July 10th, 2023. Questions, or I'll take the motion once in order.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Katie,
Second.
seconded by Gargano. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Motion carries. General business, item 1 is approve, deny, second reading and public hearing on ordinance 1961-23. Amending chapter 382, minors as it relates to juvenile possession, purchase, sales of tobacco products. Chief, how are you doing today?
Great, thank you. Max did a good job explaining this a couple weeks ago, but a couple years ago, we did our ordinance updates, and for whatever reason, it changed from 18 to 21. Probably due to the federal law change to 21, but we need to go along with what the state has, and the state still has 18 for the possession and sale of tobacco products. So that's where the changes are, striking it back down to 18 years old, the way we had it, and then striking off 382.14 to, as it's all within sub 13.
Any questions for the chief before we take public hearing?
Yeah, thank you. Chief, in essence then, what happens in the event of a sale to a person under the age of 21? Is it unenforceable?
If it's, you're talking still 18 or older, but under 21.
Correct.
Right, it's not on our end. So if the FDA wants to come in and start laying the hammer down, I guess that's up to them, but they stopped doing those checks a couple years ago during COVID. I don't know that they brought those back. The retailers on their own just don't sell to anyone under 21, but as far as us go.
Enforcement purposes, that's, thank you.
Any other questions for the chief before we take public hearing? Thanks, chief. I'll now take public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak for or against the adoption of ordinance 1961-23? Anyone wishing to speak for or against the adoption of ordinance 1961-23? Final call. Anyone wishing to speak for or against the adoption of ordinance 1961-23? Hearing no one, I'll close the public hearing, take it back to council. Discussion, I'll take a motion.
I have another question, Your Honor.
Yes, go ahead.
Chief, do you know off the top of your head, did we prosecute any individuals in between 18 and 21?
Did not, no.
Thank you.
Yep, everyone was still under the impression of 18, right?
We don't have any cleaning up to do. Perfect, thank you.
All right. Anything else? I'll take a motion.
Motion to approve, Your Honor.
Motion by Kinnison,
Second.
seconded by Peterson. Jake, roll call whenever you're ready.
Aye.
Aye.
Brentwood.
Aye.
Schulte.
Aye.
Gargano.
Aye.
Kane.
Aye.
Burns.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Aye.
Seamanson.
Aye.
All right, thank you very much. Item 2 is approve and deny memorandum of understanding with Third Act Development LLC for 116 unit senior to workforce housing residential development in the 1400 block of 8th Street. Tim.
Thank you, Mayor. So this is, I guess identified as My Home Estates in the 1400 block of 8th Street. It'll be in the soon-to-be created TID 11. It is a senior to workforce housing project, and what that means is that the intent of this development is for 55 and older. And kind of the play for that is we're hoping to make it attractive enough to get people out of their current 3-bedroom houses into these like smaller kind of reduced size homes and keep them in town, but free up that inventory for families to move in. It is the city had purchased 20 acres. It was never intended to be attached to Nishan Park. There's an estimated 116 units consisting of apartments, fourplexes, duplexes, and row housing. There's a 5-acre parcel that was donated to the city that is attached to Nishan Park, and that's called Gavin Woods up at the top of the hill. And that's an acreage that's not buildable, so that's why it's going to be attached there, and then we'll run trails through that. The city had purchased that maybe 3 years ago. It's been a long time getting this project going. We've interviewed probably 8 different developers to do this. Our current developer, Third Act, is committing to purchase the property from the city for $500,000, construct a 48-unit apartment building, construct 68 residential units using 0 lot line duplexes, fourplexes, and row housing, build a community center, install pocket parks that'll have views into Nishan Park, because watching baseball and different activities is important. Install a walking path, and all of that will guarantee a value of $21,500,000, which for us as assessed value turns into about $4.7 million per year once the build out is complete. The city's responsibility will be to create TID 11 as a mixed-use TID, which we're in the process of doing right now. Provide a business grant of $1 million, $500,000 will go for the sale of the property back to us. And then $500,000 will be for city fees, which again comes back to us. And then provide infrastructure, sewer, water, and streets at a cost of approximately $3 million. The funding source will be done through bonding, through Carol Worth, she'll be here to talk to you guys about that, to tell you about the future and the history and the present of all bonding issues. So I guess with that, I'll take any questions that you have.
Tom Warrington?
They want to start, actually, they'd like to start on the apartments this October and have a 3 to 4 year total build out. They opted not to phase the project only because they were concerned that there's a possibility someone may want a far north parcel and they only have phase one on, so they want to make sure they have opportunity for everyone to have access to all the parcels where they want to build on. And again, there was some language in the MOU you probably saw. The intent is for 55 and older, but there's an acknowledgement in there that based on market rates that may or may not be possible. So there's a mechanism inside the MOU that stimulates a conversation between the developer and the city if the developer feels as though they don't have enough market for 55 and older, then they have to reduce that age down to bring people into for these vacant parcels. But everybody involved in the project feels confident that won't happen, but they just need to have a little bit of reassurance in case.
Questions for Tim?
Probably way too far in the weeds, but what does stepped mean in all of the pictures? Like, it says stepped?
There's elevation changes.
Okay.
So if you imagine that property, it's pretty hilly back there as it kind of climbs that hill, but there's an excellent opportunity for walkout basements and things like that. But as you start to build duplexes, you have to kind of offset them, so step them down and step them up
Okay,
to fit the terrain.
thanks.
Is this the final plan?
No, it is not. It's just a concept for discussion purposes. I suspect the road is probably gonna lay out very similar to what's there. The only issue may be how the apartment building lays out, if it's two sides of 24 or if it's one larger building. But all the amenities that you see there will be included. As you can see, I think at Plan Commission, there was some concern from the condos. So they moved the apartments around a little bit, added water and green space and then parking lot to kind of buffer them between that and the apartment building. So I think that should satisfy them. And when the developer was out at the site, just kind of doing some measurements, a lot of those people came out and they kind of reassured them during that conversation as well.
My question is, they want to start in October. Are we going to be able to provide them with the infrastructure necessary?
Yeah, so what they'll do is, I think what we're gonna end up having to do is, because planning is a big deal too. We're probably gonna CSM that portion that the apartment sits on off of the main parcel, provide temporary access to that, and then we'll work in conjunction with them.
Okay.
So they wanna get that apartment going, and I want it too, because that's what cash flows.
Any other questions, comments, concerns?
Tim, I know you said this isn't finalized, but there was concern about the hill and the runoff.
Mhm.
Has the developer showed any concern
Okay, so you
about
can
that?
see- Yeah, you can see all the water, Jake, you guys scroll that down a little bit, so. Yeah, there's a lot of detention and retention that's being used for that, so yeah, they're very aware of that.
Okay.
Any further questions, comments? Discussion, I'll take a motion of one's in order.
I'd move to approve the MOU with the third act development in the city.
Motion by Peterson,
Second.
seconded by Gargano. Anything further? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Tim. We'll move to number 4, approve deny granting the city administrator and city engineer the authority to enter into a contract with Veerbecker for professional services related to the development of the Retzloff addition.
Okay, so this is back behind Forever Funeral Home, back behind the park that we have there. This was approved during an MOU, and this is just allowing Veerbecker to take care of the things that we agreed that we would do. and that's basically running infrastructure back through there. Again, this property will again be in the newly created TID 11. What's gonna be needed is $357,552 to be able to get that done. We'll have contractors do sewer and water, and then we will take care of the road. Our general guys will take care of that for us. And that's for 2, 4, 6, 8 duplexes, so 16 units total. And again, this developer would like to have all the cement poured for these grades before the snow flies this year.
Questions for Tim? Comments? Dave?
Can we provide the infrastructure for that, on that
So
timeline?
It's a relatively small job, so we have, there's 3 contractors that we know that are interested in doing that. So again, that infrastructure will go in, but the road will be tapped.
Yeah, put the sewer and water in, and then the gravel, but then the curb and the asphalt will happen next year.
With the contracts next year.
Any further questions?
Impressive.
Comments? I'll take a motion if one's in order.
Move to approve.
Motion by Stevenson,
Second.
seconded by Schulte. Anything further? All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Number 5 is approve and deny granting the city administrator and city engineer the authority to enter into a contract with Beerbecker for professional services related to the development of the senior village development known as My Home Estates. Tim?
Okay, this is a reference to the MOU that you guys just approved. Thank you for that. And this is going to provide us with the professional services to do all the sewer, water, and infrastructure that we need for that particular project. The price tag on that is $2,991,115, and that's not phased. That's the entire project all the way through. And then the extra $1 million is the grant and then the payment for the land.
Questions for Tim? Now I'll take a motion.
Move to approve the authority.
Motion by Peterson. Second. Seconded by Kane. Anything further? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 6 is approve and deny granting the city administrator the authority to enter into a contract with Beerbecker to conduct a housing market study for the city of Reedsburg as an update to the Sauk County housing study completed in 2018. Tim?
Okay, thank you. I know we're not thrilled about studies, but unfortunately, our housing study is severely out of date. That 2018 study that was done actually by Beerbecker, so that's why we went back to them for the update. This will be only the city of Reedsburg, it won't be countywide. We offered that to the county and they politely declined to pay for it. So this will run us $13,600. We intend on using the money that we would have normally paid SCDC for our membership. And SCDC is on board with that as long as we said that they were working in conjunction with SCDC for this housing study. So they're okay with that, so that's how we'll fund this particular study. When I go to developers, I just need data, and I need new data. The data that we've been relying upon, so many things have changed since that time. Just the project that you've approved tonight have changed that data significantly. So we need fresh data, we need to understand where we need to go for housing. And I think getting the study done will be the way to do that.
How long a process is this, Tim? The study?
It's over months, so it's not a super long process. It's not long like the comp plan or anything
Okay.
like that, the court plan. But it is a lot of the same people doing both of those plans, so they're
Okay.
familiar with both of those.
Definitely, all the studies are pretty important to study. That's definitely what spearheaded and got us going in 2018 to know what we needed to do, so. I'll take a motion, one's in order, what's the discussion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Hyde,
Second.
seconded by Gargano. Anything further? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Recommendations from boards, committees, and commissions from the Parks Committee. Approve and deny renaming Granite Avenue Recreation Area to Mackey Park to memorialize the contributions made by the Mackey family to the city of Reedsburg. Matt Scott, how are you doing today?
Good, thank you, Mayor. As you can see on the map, the area that's shaded blue is the area in question, and basically these properties are made up of the skate park, the curtain property and flood properties. So at the last Park and Recreation meeting last week, it was unanimously approved that we rename that area Mackey Park.
Questions for me? Phil?
I'll just add that we've had a lot of discussions with historic preservation on this, and their work has been fantastic to recognize this family. If you look on the map, on the east side of the river, the city owns that land, and then the Public Works old Parks building area will be included at some point, but we're probably a couple years out from having that cleaned up, mitigated, substation gone, the material removed. So we didn't really want to have the naming at a setting like this, and then everyone expect there to be a beautiful park there, and it's probably 2 years away from that. So right now it'll be the shaded properties, and then we will move forward if and when that gets finalized.
Any questions?
Comment, Your Honor.
Yes.
It's my neighborhood, obviously. And I definitely understand the Mackey's contribution to the city. Did a little reading myself coming up, and Mackey's had at least 3 additions, and most of it was the downtown. They took over some additions to the south and redeveloped it after some financial bankruptcies. In the future, though, I would be opposed to the reclamation of the city lot area being included as Mackey Park, as that was originally donated to the city by the Stolte family. And before it became what it is today, it was Stolte Park. So I'm in favor of what is on the map today, but I would be opposed to what Phil just included as to future plans. Just want to go on the record as saying so.
Very good, thank you. Anyone else? Take the motion, was in order.
I'd move to approve the renaming of Granite Avenue Rec Area to Mackey Park.
Motion by Peterson,
Second.
seconded by Schulte. Anything further? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The Plan Commission approved and deny second reading and public hearing for ordinance 1958-23. Rezoning lot 1 of parcel number 276-0314-20000 from agricultural to B2 business, generally located at State Highway 33 in Alexandria Avenue. Brian?
All right, so last month you approved the CSM for this property. So if you remember on lot 2, that's intended to be your Dollar General is intending to buy that if they haven't already for a future retail store. So the request here is to rezone that to B2 business, and it's been recommended by the Plan Commission to do so. They recommend.
Is that lot 1 or lot 2?
Lot 1, I'm sorry. And it'll still have to go to just add to this, still have to go to the Plan Commission for any actual site plan, so this is, at this point, it's just a rezoning.
The zoning. Any questions for Brian before we take public hearing on the zoning change?
Brian, just to confirm, that's consistent with our comp plan.
Correct. Yes.
All right, thanks, Brian. And I'll take public hearing. Is there anyone wishing to speak for or against the adoption of ordinance 1958-23? Yes. Jim, we know who you are, but could you give us your name and address?
Yes, I will. You probably wondered why I'm here, whether I'm gonna argue. Anyway, I've owned that property for pretty close to 30 years. Now, during that time, I've waited for the right fit for that property. You know, over the years, I've entertained offers from a roofing company. There's been apartments. I've had people want to scrape that black dirt off of there because that's probably the best dirt. That's one of the best farming pieces in the county. You could put a 12-inch plow down and you wouldn't hit the bottom of it. And I probably had 15 to 20 people call me about storage units. You know, they'd like to buy part to put storage units, but I never felt it was a right fit for a property that's sitting right on the corner. That's, you know, the traffic just keeps increasing. So basically, you know, by doing this, now, another thing was, somebody said, well, split it into 2 farmettes, keep it in the township. Might subdivide it to get 7, 8 lots out of it, maybe. And that's not the right fit for that property. And so I just kind of brushed everybody off. Dollar General is the right fit for this, because number one, it's coming into the city, you're gonna get tax revenue. And number two, you're helping all your neighbors out at Dutch Hall, Redstone, LaBelle. They're gonna shop there. So, like I said, yeah, I'm for it just because it's the right fit for that piece.
Thanks, Jim. Anyone else? Yes.
Well, I was at the last meeting and I'm probably gonna bring up the same thing that I brought up before.
Sure.
But, first of
Could
all,
you give us, I know, we're talking at the plan commission meeting, could you just give us your name and address for the record?
Louise Kappelman, 715 West Main Street.
Thank you.
My first question is because after I got home, I wondered about this. I got a letter regarding this. One neighbor showed up at the last meeting and then I checked with my other neighbors. Nobody got a letter. Nobody. They knew nothing about this. Some people don't get a newspaper. How were they to know about this? And my complaint is traffic problems. You've got the grade school, you've got the tech college, you've got the senior housing. You're gonna add more traffic. It's congested enough. I live on that corner there. I don't know why you feel you have to bring commercial into a residential area. I didn't buy my home to be by commercial area. You got a Quillen's building that's up for sale. Why not put something in there? Why bring commercial out to the residential area? Plus the fact for me is you're gonna have these parking lights on, which are gonna shine in my windows. I'm upset about this. Like I said, I bought 7 years ago. I felt I had a little bit of the Reedsburg town and a little bit of country. And now you're bringing this into the area. That's all I have to say. I'm upset.
Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the adoption of ordinance number 1958-23? Yes.
My name is Jackie Schronk. I live at 709 West Main Street. I have lived there for almost 30 years. I've enjoyed having the country right there next to me. And again, I am with Lou here. We like our area. We don't see why you gotta bring the commercial into a residential area. I live right next to her, and the traffic does get hard to get in and out with the school traffic and stuff. So you're just gonna make it more congested. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the adoption of ordinance 1958-23? Yes.
My name's Gene Dagner, I live at 710 Clark Street. Again, against moving a store business into residential area. I don't understand why you need to have another Dollar General. They got the one downtown, you got a Family Dollar at the other end. Again, can't see why you need another one in town. You'd be better off to go after some kind of a business that's gonna be able to sell clothes and other items, because you can't buy any kind of thing like that in Reedsburg. You gotta go outside Baraboo or the Dells. So Dollar General is not the way to go. You already got them in town, so again, that should be out of there. But that should be reserved for residential as far as I am concerned. So not in favor of it, so thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak for or against the adoption of ordinance 1958-23? Final call. Anyone wishing to speak for or against the adoption of ordinance 1958-23? I'll close the public hearing, take it back to council. Discussion, comments? Questions?
Can I just, for clarity reasons, I don't believe the city ever went after Dollar General to go there. So I think that's maybe a misconception. They're the ones that are initiating this. So it's not the city didn't go out and say, please come buy this lot and go there. this is instigated by Dollar General. Unless I'm wrong.
You're right.
That's
No, we
exactly
just thought it was a great idea.
correct.
Tim, this does match the comprehensive plan, would
It
you?
absolutely does.
Yeah, and just to remind everybody, that corridor is already commercial. There is already commercial properties there. It's just an extension of that. It meets our future comp plan.
It's planned commercial.
And indeed, I agree with Jason. It's not as if the city has the ability to tell a company that they're coming here or that they're not. It's their prerogative. And as long as everything meets the guidelines, meets the requirements, meets the future comp plan, we would have to have compelling reason to deny their requests. And although I understand the frustrations of the local residents, that isn't the case in this situation.
Further questions, comments, discussion?
Just out of curiosity, is it the same owners of the current Dollar General?
I guess I don't know that. I think we have a representative on Zoom, may be able to answer that.
My name's Eric Markovich. I'm with Hurley and Stewart, and we're the engineering company that's working on this project. We're here on behalf of the developer. Can you let me know where the other Dollar General is located relative to this one?
It's on Main Street on the east side of Reedsburg.
Yeah, our developer's only broken into the Wisconsin market recently, so it's not going to be the same owner. The Dollar.
And again, I mean, we've been criticized for years about ignoring the west side of town and not providing retail to the west side of town. So this seemed like a really good fit with a store that provides a lot of things. You know, not just dollar items, but a lot of different items. I think some of these stores are large enough to be almost considered grocery stores. So a lot of the shopping gets down there.
Anything further?
Yes. Isn't there a property then in LaValle? If they're so in need of this kind of business, could you build it there and all the residents out there who have nothing? Could you with that?
Yeah, I don't know how, anything about LaValle. I don't know what they got going on over there.
Reedsburg or not LaValle.
Well, you mentioned LaValle before, that they need something, so that's why.
No, I think it's something regionally that would draw on. Normally, larger cities are where people kind of congregate to for those kind of things. Because we have the services to provide support for that kind of thing. Sewer, water, things like that.
And it's like, when I started out talking before, I asked, do you know how many letters were sent out? Do you know how many letters were sent out to residents?
What's the radius, Brian?
150 feet.
What is it?
150 feet.
150 feet? Council, anything further? I'll take the motion if one's in order.
Move to approve ordinance 1958-23 rezoning plot 1 as stated.
Motion by Gargano,
Second.
seconded by Knudsen. Anything further? We'll have roll call. Jake, roll call whenever you're ready.
Aye.
Aye.
Brunschwig.
Aye.
Schulte.
Aye.
Gargano.
Aye.
Kane. Aye. Friends.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Knudsen.
Aye.
Siemens.
Aye.
8-aye. Number 3 from the plan commission as well. It's a.
We're all here, Dave.
Sometimes you want
I'm
to.
not. Aye. Okay, plan commission, as well as approve or deny second reading and public hearing for ordinance 1959-23. Rezoning 2423 East Main Street from B2 to B3. Brian.
All right, so this property here currently has a single family dwelling on it, single family house. And a new buyer was close to closing on the property and found out it was on commercial and couldn't get approval for it. So she's applied to the city to rezone to B3, which would allow both residential and commercial. So this has been reviewed by the plan commission and they recommend approval to B3 business.
Questions for Brian? Thanks, Brian. I will now take public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against the adoption of ordinance 1959-23? Anyone wishing to speak for or against the adoption of ordinance 1959-23? Final call. Anyone wishing to speak for or against the adoption of ordinance 1959-23? Hearing no one, will take it back to the council. Discussion. I'll take a motion if one's in order.
Just a quick comment. The applicant's not here, but I think her mother is representing her if there's any questions.
Okay.
The only question I got is if it's approved, who publishes it in which paper?
We would publish that and it would go in the Reedsburg Independent.
Make a motion to approve. Motion by King.
Second.
Seconded by Braunschweig. Anything further? Jake, roll call whenever you're ready.
Aye.
Aye.
Brunswick.
Aye.
Schulte.
Aye.
Gargano.
Aye.
Kane.
Aye.
Evans.
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Knutson.
Aye.
Stevenson.
Aye.
9-9.
You got one more vote this time.
Picked up one more, Mikey. That's something. All right, commission, committee, board, and staff reports. Parks and Rec.
I will give the summary of what they did when they met. I was absent. But the Parks and Rec Committee did the final review of the comprehensive outdoor recreation plan. Had a discussion started by Chief Cummings to clear up some language with the closing of hours with the parks. And they've come up with a numerical number versus the vague dawn to dusk. It'll be coming sometime this year. There we go. And the review of the Mackey family recommendation for Granite Avenue, and Matt provided updates on the program in the busy summer.
One park on the side note is just, I can't believe how much of a hub that is. It's turned into something.
Yeah.
Parties upon parties there, which is awesome. Keeps Matt's guys busy. REC or REBC. That's a new name. I gotta remember that. REBC.
We did not meet yet.
Meet.
Public Works.
We did meet. We reviewed CIP and CEP projects for budgeting, capital improvement, and capital purchases for the upcoming budget season, and kind of looked forward to the couple of years after that as well, with a few minor adjustments to some road projects and with projects that we have. Obviously, with some of them tonight, we will be having to shuffle some funds in Public Works Department to accommodate some of those. We did some budget work, coming fast.
Another busy area is Public Works. Let's see, Utility Commission.
Utility met on July 17th. We are accepting applications for some fiber line workers. That is still a booming business this year. Electric crew is continuing to replace some aged poles. Also regarding electric, we are having some blinks due to squirrel activity. And
the yearly squirrel
thing, and no matter how fast they get killed, they seem to be coming back. So I'd just like to remind everyone that there's not a failing, and these are not power outages. These are simply blinks that are caused by squirrels. There's nothing wrong with our infrastructure from a utility electrical standpoint.
Anything like they should take a moment of silence when there's a blip, just to think of that squirrel's life.
Yes. Thank you very much, Dan. We approved 2 nonprofit grants for energy efficiency improvements to St. John's and to 5 Solus churches. Well number 8 was inspection and maintenance was completed. That well is back online. That work came in under budget. Like I say, regarding the fiber line work, the construction is progressing quickly in Spring Green, and we're all going gangbusters. So all good.
Perfect, thank you. Plan Commission. We discussed what you discussed tonight, Creighton TID 11, and also the Retzloff project, Retzloff area. Let's see, Library Board. What we got you, Mike?
Library Board met. Work is underway rehabbing one of the study rooms to a mother's room. That's going very well. doing that through part of a grant from Sauk County. We also improved the capital improvement request, the capital budget request for next year. And if you've been by the library, you can see we're catching up on this year. We're getting some painting done on the outside. So again, I'm only involved in boards that are rocking and rolling.
You making that. Zoning board, CDA.
Meeting tomorrow.
Very good. We'll catch up on that next meeting. Any other committee, commission, board, or staff that has anything you want to report? Go around the horseshoe.
Nothing tonight.
Dave Knudsen.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Phil Peterson.
It was good to see the ballpark full of teams with the Lenny Alexander this weekend, and
Awesome.
it was awesome to see.
Saw several teams getting their picture taken by that,
With the billboard.
For the mural,
Awesome.
yeah. it was-
That's awesome to see that, buddy.
Yeah, that was great.
Missy Friends.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
And Katie.
Nothing tonight, thanks.
Jake from City Hall. Jim Becker.
Just something real quick, oftentimes, we talk about, I guess, immigration and things like that and the need for workers. Just to let you know that, the church that I attend has an all Spanish service that's attended by over 50 people 3 times a week. So that's the amount of population that's in town. So in case you did or did not know that, that's what's kind of going on. So I think as you'll see our budgets develop, you'll see a push towards more inclusivity with that particular demographic.
That's all good stuff. Mike Gargano.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Jason Schulte.
I actually got more phone calls and emails about the firemen doing their water thing in the park a week or 2 back. So I like getting the positive emails. So thank you, fire department and everybody. It seemed like lots of kids were out enjoying that as well.
Very
So
cool.
A lot of kids there. Craig Braunschweig.
Nothing tonight.
Sunny Hyde.
Nothing tonight.
I have nothing further to add other than to keep cool this week. It's not going to be a fun week to work outside. So we will go into closed session. Per section 19.85 sub 1 sub E of the Wisconsin statutes, the common council will consider entering closed session for the purpose of deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session, specifically related to the Reedsburg Area Ambulance Service. Should read number 2. And also the common council will enter into closed session at the same time under section 19.85 sub 1 sub C for the purpose of considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercise responsibility, specifically employee compensation. Take a motion to go to closed session.
So moved.
Motion by Stevenson,
second.
second by Schulte. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. We'll take a minute. Thanks, everyone.
You want to mute?
I
I'd say thank you. Thank you.
That's not my nothing in the month.